Here we go. On the mic, we have joining me David M1A2,
Hello.
the future opponent of one of these players.
Gotta get prepared for my next match, you know?
Yeah, I got to do that research. So, here we go. SudsySugar, very new to the game, willing to give it a try. It's on Game Pass. You know, why not just sign up, get in there, play a couple games, see what happens. Teal, picking teal, it's a good color. And he's down here on the bottom of our Boulder Bay. Controversy in the orange top side. Boulder Bay obviously recently updated to they shrank him down a little bit. Our Boulder Bay dude,
Right
probably
away,
better.
I'm
Yeah,
liking my Controversy's doing here. He's killing the sheep. It's a pretty good strategy to ensure that your villagers will focus on different sheep so that the food lasts longer and they don't have to spend time going between different sheep. So
yeah.
I do really like that little optimization.
Okay, that's a little bit optimized. Keep the villagers from bumping into each other, I guess. Of course, in Age 4, the huntables and herbables don't decay, so you want to kill them like, it doesn't really matter unless you're trying to optimize for a different reason. You don't want to just be taking one at a time necessarily. Scouting. Controversy moving his way down. He's identified the lake is on this side today. I don't know if Sudsy knows exactly what the shape of the map is, but
Yeah, this map was typically dominated by water play, but with this new update, I don't think it's as important anymore. So we'll see if these players decide to go for a dock or not.
yeah, these days you definitely can win without the water, even if the enemy does move on to that. It's still going to be a really valuable resource if you want to put a dock down. Double up your eco production. Yeah, cap multiple villas all bonking the same sheep. It's kind of a thing in Age 4 you really need to work around is the overkilling military units and I guess with the sheep too. Like all the archers will all shoot one unit and just do 1,000 damage to it. Or if you're hunting as the Roos, you just get that extra shot off on the deer that's already dead.
Yep,
But
I'm curious what kind of build we're going to see here out of Controversy. I know he does like his age rushing, so see if it's going to be a quick age 3.
yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes on Controversy here because he's gonna have the more optimized situation regardless of these two. I think we could check up on SudsySugar a little bit, but he's kind of just feeling out the game, working out. What are all these things I can build? Contra put a little bit more thought into it. Getting this Aachen Chapel, which it's not too bad actually. Maybe you could argue move it over here to the wood line. Maybe you could still get those berries in the radius. I think that's probably a better move, but people just like to judge the Aachen all the time. Take it or leave it.
I
Free
did
on
notice
gold. Yeah,
Sudsy decided to put a bunch of villages on wood. I wonder if he's going to go for some early farms with that. It's really good on English.
okay, yeah, English, in the old age franchise, you kind of want to generally avoid building farms for as long as possible, but the English in Age 4, they get the gather rate bonus with them being around the mill. Says you may have read about that, and it's really fine to just build farms as early as you need to. We've got some early boy at arms, the Vanguard man at arms with their plastic swords out here. Sees the scout, almost tries to rush up at that, but decides, you know what, he's on a horse.
Yeah, this is a really early man-at-arms. I wonder if we're going to see any early pressure with that man-at-arms. Those guys are really armored. You can do a lot of damage to the Holy Roman's gold early on, which is kind of what you want to focus on when you're playing against Holy Roman, since gold is so critical for their age ups and also for their early units.
We've got an experienced English player in the chat. Yeah, English needs wood bad all the time. Yeah, sure thing. But yeah, this forward gold is definitely not a great spawn for the Holy Roman Empire player. It's outside of the TC range by quite a ways. Definitely could be pushed, especially with the early man-at-arms. Nobody in this game really has a good answer to early armored units like that. especially even in the Dark Age. These guys get out really early. Looks like it's not going to be utilized. Maybe for defense, as we have the scout. Could be taken out actually if the villagers all turn on it with their short bows. The scout trying to deny this mill, which is in an interesting position all on its own, but that is what it is.
Looks like that Aachen Chapel is reaching the wood line, which is quite nice.
Okay.
So barely.
Okay.
It looks like occasionally I'm seeing a villager. Looks like they're actually out of it now.
Switch POV. Here we go.
Oh, okay. It's right on the edge.
Yeah. Close. Very close. But it is going to get all of these berries, and the mill went up on the other side, so I guess good in the situation for what it is. Wheelbarrow coming out for orange. He's going for that quick tech up, and unfortunately our villagers have run out of sheep. Gonna need to move down to farms.
Sudsy does have a lot of wood, which is really good, so he can swap to farms if he needs.
Plenty of wood, plenty of food too. Okay, Contra with 900 now, but yeah, I mean, these resources, they're piling up. He hasn't gone. Okay, I mean, Sudsy is still Dark Age too, so we're gonna need to head over to Gold for a little bit, get that age up building. Of course, again, newish player to the Age 4 scene might not know, or it might take them a little while to find the age up button or the landmark choice button. Need wood for rams, farms, longbows. Yeah, gotta get on that wood line if you're the English.
Bit surprised no one has gone dock yet. I feel like the fishing economy in this map is incredibly good. It lets you have essentially 2 town center of income for villagers.
We can't rewind, so we can't rewatch that. But there's a there's a boar pole aggro onto the stone mining villager from SudsySugar. Now the stone mine it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, strategically, it was a villager kill. So good job on that, and that's pretty hilarious use of the mechanics there. I love it when I see a boar pole like that. Now the early man-at-arms, the Vanguard, probably not even going to be enough to take out this boar. But the boar's not going to be angry now unless he attacks it. So we'll see. Maybe he thinks it's a wolf. Boar wins tournament, exactly. That could be the deciding factor right there, that deciding play, that boar kill. We've got barracks with early man-at-arms now, one step above the English man-at-arms from the Holy Roman Empire. Just getting him out in case. We're not going naked past it right now. Gonna try to get that boar pull again with the range. It's gonna work. And I don't know if Sudsy knows he can run away from the leash radius here. He's gonna lose a lot of health at least. Yeah, he's gonna lose this man-at-arms.
Oh no.
Oh my. Oh! Picks it off with the scout, who is, by the way, what in the world?
What are these shift clicks?
You got any explanations for that one, Controversy? Just keeping him busy, I guess.
I think he's trying to keep the boar aggroed so that anything that comes up automatically gets attacked.
That makes sense, actually. Okay, it's a good move. We got the Aachen. Or rather Regnitz, the Regnitz Cathedral. 9 minutes 29 on that one. And the opponent's still in the Dark Age. Hasn't probably figured out the button to click. And if he has, didn't realize it takes gold too. Because in Age 2, all you gotta do, 500 food and 2 buildings. Here, you're gonna need that 200 gold.
It actually looks like there's a pretty big villager lead too for Controversy here. I don't think either civ gets an increase to their villager production speed. So looks like SudsySugar may have dropped production for a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely had enough food throughout. I think he just wasn't quite so vigilant on the villager production button.
I think in general for
10 minutes.
Yeah, for new players, it's one thing that's a pretty easy thing to do. Just keep your town center making villagers, and it's one of the best ways to stay competitive later in the game because you have more resources, you make more units, and more units is better than less units. So
Absolutely, that's like the first tip that anybody should take is always produce more villagers. Now here we go, the first aggression from Orange. 4 early man-at-arms. The upgrade hasn't come through yet for those guys to become their fully fledged man-at-arms, but they don't need it. Gonna push Sudsy off of that gold. He's gonna have to move down to the other gold, maybe. We'll see. Okay, we do have a man-at-arms clash here. The Dark Age versus the Feudal Age. These guys with 3 melee armor, 3 pierce armor, 8 damage, 3, 3, 10. Okay. But there are fewer of Orange. Meanwhile, Spencer would not be happy with that lumber camp.
I was to say, I don't like the lumber camp position here. I think it's been somewhat mathematically shown that you want to keep moving your lumber camps closer to wood lines.
Oh, absolutely. And now Orange just... I love these Q points. Just giving the complete runaround right now. Keeping him distracted.
It's a new Season 3 update feature, right?
Yeah.
Showing the Shift Q commands.
Yeah. It's for players and for spectators. Previously, you couldn't see Shift Q commands if you were in-game either. Love that new feature. We got some monk researches coming in, inspired villagers. Just living the high life over here, getting everything he needs is Orange.
Yeah, I'm noticing Sudsy hasn't picked up the wheelbarrow yet, or any of the resource upgrades. They're actually cheaper as of the latest update as well, so can be a really good investment, especially in these games where the aggression is somewhat minimal, I think.
Yeah, this has definitely been more of a slow game, besides these 4 dudes right here. The eco upgrades right now, at least with their current cost, are definitely worth getting at every level, especially in a slower game. Maybe if you're rushing, you know, skip the second 2 or whatever. But
I'd love to see more harass with these man-at-arms. They just kind of walking around.
They're just on their their path. They're on their rails.
Yep. They could have probably picked off a villager there.
Yeah, definitely. He's just passing at the moment. Okay, maybe you doing a little scouting with those, or they could just be on their queue. Feudal Age now reach for Teal. Those 4 villagers hammered away until it was here. Yeah, just strolling past, as you were, Villies. Okay.
He's actually on the way to H3 almost. I mean, he needs some more food, but oh, I think he just purchased something. I saw his gold drop there, but
yeah, he's just got 3 more man-at-arms. The man-at-arms from the English, not bad, but you really do want to see that star of the show right here, the longbowman. I guess against the HRE they're not quite as strong, but a couple more villager picks for Orange. We can see villager kills, worker kills here is 4 to 0. Destroyed value of 50 to 120, or 510 to 120.
Yeah, I would love to see the English here try to get to age 3 to try to catch up, because if you've fallen behind Holy Roman, it can be pretty difficult to stay in the game. So I'd love to see that age 3 come in to get crossbows and start taking out some of these man-at-arms.
Yeah, especially that age 2 to age 3 gap. You really can't deal with the armor unless you age up there. On the other hand, if you invest all the resources into it, you know, you're just going to be vulnerable for a while. And we completely missed these military units walking all the way across the map, but they're here and they're taking down farms.
This is great counter pressure. I like this from Sudsy, kind of pushing back on that harass.
Teal not
trying to get
pulling
them
back
past.
though, committing to that aggression himself. Yep. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a blip in Orange's economy, at least. Definitely worth doing.
One tip for raiding too is, in general, when you're raiding your opponent, you don't typically want to fight their army, because if you fight their army, they're going to be reinforcing their army more quickly than you are, because you have to walk across the whole map and they're already at their base. So you typically want to avoid fighting the army, try to pick off villagers, get that economy.
The defender's advantage in age 4 is really strong.
This is great. I'm loving this dock.
Huge.
Yeah, this is really good.
We do it. Oh, we got a couple fishing ships out. They're not doing anything yet, but I have faith. Okay, we've got a few men-at-arms going down to the arrow fire from this town center, actually. English town center, obviously. Firing a little bit more. We got some longbows, too, pitching in. But this is more what you want to see from a raid, even though it's harder to raid with man-at-arms than with some other unit types. Just moving throughout the economy and hitting the villagers wherever you can. He's going to get a couple kills with just this one guy by himself.
Oh no, the fishing boats are idle, I think.
Yeah, they're
That's unfortunate.
they're just on their lunch break. They never showed up to work. Now they're on their lunch break. Controversy has now gathered 4 relics. Well, 3 in the bank, 1 more on the way. Last one is pretty far out of the way for our orange player, but he could probably walk his way around to get it if he wants to. And another monastery coming out because you can only garrison 3 relics inside of each religious building.
It's actually 16 minutes already, and it looks like Controversy's scaling up to H4. Surprised he's not trying to get more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. What does he see right now? Is it F? Oh, I have to. Nothing selected, and there we go. He knows the situation that his enemy's in. Maybe a little bit more scouting on the council hall just to make sure that there's no pressure coming his way.
He can't see the dock though, which I think is pretty important. That's a lot of increased income. That makes up at least part of the villager difference. There's still a pretty big villager difference, but at least the fishing boats are going to make it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a good play from Teal. Maybe even more fishing boats, but they do cost a lot of wood. And you have nobody on wood right now. I guess we'll get back to that when we get back to it.
I think Controversy could age up here.
I think he's going for it. He wants it. You give an HRE player an inch of rope, he'll take it a mile. They're greedy guys.
Yeah, HRA loves the greed. They love not being harassed. They love sitting back, doing their build, scaling up, getting to that late game.
Give them a chance. They'll reach age 5 before you know it. Another monastery. Oh, they just look vaguely similar. Siege Workshop. Or orange. Yeah, I don't wonder what he's going to come out with that Siege Workshop. Forward Elsbach. Right in kind of the path of any attacking armies. Gonna try to stop any more early man-at-arms before they arrive. Right on this stone. It's like kind of a jumping off point, maybe.
Yeah, it's a curious position because it's easy to get around. You can go down through the water to get around it. You can go up and around it. It's pretty easy to circumvent, and the big bonus you get with Elsbach is that the buildings around it are harder to destroy. So he's not really taking much advantage of that.
Yeah, I'd like to see this either further forward or in a more effective defensive position.
We also haven't seen anyone capture sacred sites, which they're free gold, and Controversy has the prelate sitting right there, right next to the sacred site. You could just walk over and capture it.
We're going on to the docks now for Orange 2. Yeah, Contra could definitely just walk over to the sacred site right now. And now, there's another little gimmick on Boulder Bay here. We have the sacred site and the trading post off in this corner. You're going to have to go into the water at some point if you want to take those. Kind of stops any enemies from interrupting you while you're gathering that sacred site gold as well.
Looks like both players aren't really scouting very much. I'd also like to see some scouts going out from both players to figure out what their opponents are doing. Because right now I think they both don't know that they're fishing. Oh wait, maybe? Maybe Controversy does see it.
Contra sees it, and he does see this pocket gold too. Let's see, where does Blue still have a scout? I don't even know. Teal? No. Looks like...
No, I think it would show at the top, right? It's a feature that shows you what units you have.
I forgot there's UI in this game. Imagine that.
It's great to include 1 or 2 scouts in your army just in general. It helps you see so much more when you're walking around.
Yeah, you can kind of get away with it in Age 2, just ignoring the scouting. They pretty much just provided a little bit of an extra line of sight. But 4 here really focuses on the vision as a mechanic and is really strong for it. I love that part of the game with the stealth forests, and now with the Musafati warriors and their stealth. You really got to get those scouts involved. Scouts can see further through stealth forests.
Yup, and also scouts, you can, in general, just leave them in stealth forest, kind of like Controversy has done here, and they will just be like a little beacon of vision that is difficult to see. Yep, you can't see it from the outside.
If Sudsy walks past, he's got like a radius of like maybe this far that he can go without even seeing that scout.
Yep, exactly, and that way you can get vision of your opponent without them even knowing that you have vision.
Alright, Cap. I'm eating a sandwich, sorry. What is this? Somebody pressed Q instead of W?
I think that was an old comment. I'm trying to remember what that was in context for.
Maybe that's a scout thing. He's saying go 2 scouts at the beginning.
He said look
HRE
at farms. Oh.
The house blocking that chapel farm. You hate to see it.
The Controversy is flooding a lot of resources here. And does it show you supply in this game on the top anywhere? Oh, it does.
A little bit hard to see, yeah. 103 to 61, so very much in Controversy's favor. Military and worker population count right now. Blue gonna move forward with longbows, with early man-at-arms that have been upgraded once to the Feudal Age variant. He's also reached Castle Age, while Contra has now gone Imperial, with, again, Hellsbach.
What did Sudsy use to age up? Which building did he choose?
Looks like he went with the White Tower, which has definitely been a bit of a popular choice. I mean, with this game and the King Spilla game only as reference.
Well, it's the great thing about the age up keeps is that you can repair them with wood, right?
It's true. So if you get pushed, wood all day. That keep will last forever. At the same time, these Landsknechts and these man-at-arms with their maces are really eating up those early man-at-arms.
Yeah, they're upgraded. You can see, I think he has +2/+2
It's a full wipe
right now on the defensive stats.
Yeah, +2/+2 with the +4 attack. Obviously, these guys inspired. +15% increased damage, +1 armor from keeping these prelates next to him. The Landsknecht, +3 armor, +3, and 20 +5. Those guys real glass cannons.
I think Controversy could really push here, really try to pressure his opponent more. He's got a pretty big army. He's got a good amount of resources piled up. He could probably drop maybe another... He'd probably get some more wood, build some more production.
Yeah, we're sitting at 6k food, you know, a casual of almost 5,000 gold. What are we doing here? What are we working on, you know?
Yeah, there's no more age ups, no more upgrades really. Actually, he's still got a couple defense and attack upgrades to go, but...
Yeah, the range damage you're just probably going to ignore as HRE most of the time. But the other 3, definitely worth it. What we're going to get instead is a stone wall all the way across SudsySugar's side of the map. Just to make sure things are going to go his way.
I could see potentially if Sudsy was trading with that far west trade post, there's good maybe that wall could cut off his traders, but I'm not entirely sure what this wall accomplishes at this point.
Cap, I'm on your side. Look at this guy. He's still hanging out. He knows he won the game for him. Yeah, this wall is just a stalling tactic in a game where you don't need to be stalling, I think. I guess there could be an argument that he's waiting for siege right now.
Are either player going doing anything with their docks? Are either player going more fishing or trade boats?
Says he's still on those initial 3 fishing ships, but they are now fishing at least. We have a transport. We do have a transport for Orange. Oh,
that could get spicy. You can do some fun things on this map.
Yeah, this is a great transport map. Could be a villager drop for a proxy base.
Yeah, it could be proxy base. I know when you get tied up in fights around the middle, you can just take your whole army, leave, and just drop in their back line, knock out all their villagers. It's pretty much over at that point.
Absolutely. Controversy might be a little bit afraid of the English defensive bonuses. Network of castles, you know, given that plus 20% attack speed. You might need to wait for some trebs, some rams maybe come out if he was to push. So far, it looks like he's just content to just stall out the game and win by sheer number of resources.
Yep, I think Sudsy needs to, if he got some crossbows, it'd be very effective in dealing with Contra's army right now. He's going Knight, which is actually not the worst, but against Man-at-Arms, but against Holy Roman Man-at-Arms, they have that Mace upgrade, so they deal extra damage to Knights. And also the Landsknechte are incredibly good at knocking out Knights in big groups. So
Yeah, Controversy doing a pretty good job of just sprinkling in a few Landsknecht.
they're actually quite effective with Man-at-Arms because the Man-at-Arms end up soaking up the damage while they're doing the AoE autos. Oh no, this wood line. We got a wood line here where we have the villagers are walking quite a marathon here to drop their wood off.
Okay, he got wheelbarrow. This could be part of the plan, saving that wood from the lumber camp.
Yeah, he did. He's actually getting his resource upgrades here, his eco upgrades. That's good. Good to see.
Here we go. I like the amount of knights we're seeing here. Controversy is kind of just sitting on a pretty small army, letting things build up. 10k wood or food now. I wonder what kind of strategy that ends up leading into. Anyways,
like he's trading. Oh, maybe he's trying to get his gold income up.
4 markets here. There are traders on the way now. Okay. Couple of outposts dotted around, mining some forward stone. With, of course, you gotta have that prelate in there to keep your villagers on the ball. Okay, now Teal.
Okay.
Didn't know about this wall until right now. He does see, because this is captured, he sees the army. Basically, all of Controversy's army is being snitched on by the sacred site. But now, the knights just have nowhere to go because this forward wall. And we do have more fishing ships for Teal. Love to see that.
I wonder if Sudsy here is going to start going some siege. He really needs to make a trebuchet or... Actually, he's almost got resources for Age 4. I think he should just save for Age 4 here. Get his siege workshops down. Get some cannons.
He could definitely just mark it up to Age 4 right now if he needed to. It's probably a good move.
Yeah, this game is so slow that we could definitely...
Pastors, in your professional opinion, do you think land trade or sea trade is better on this map? I think that since they shrunk down the water here, unless you got this like corner secure, land trade is going to be better. But it's situational too.
In general, you tend to fight for one or the other. You can't. It's pretty difficult to hold both. So, I think if you're winning the land fight, you go for the land trade. If you already have a big sea presence, a big fishing boat presence, then you take the sea trade. You wall your opponent off by knocking out all his docks, and then from that point, you just build walls and try to survive on land while you boat over your troops.
Yeah, if you have control either way, land or sea, it can't hurt to sprinkle in some trade. So. This transport ship was a neat idea, but we're not seeing anything come out of it. Maybe the boar is stalling him. He's afraid to go near.
Oh, look at that villager difference. Oh, we're almost at 3-1 here.
Okay, we do have a second town center. I think this came up pretty recently. For orange.
So if you look at Contra's resources here, he's got 7,000 stone. We could see some keep drops. It's also potentially looking like a wonder. You need 6,000 of everything. He's at the 6,000 food, 6,000 stone.
Lone Cub, this was played about a week ago, actually. Unfortunate. That's just the way that things are. But it allows us to do things like this overlay, which I did all the research on in between times. Look at that data.
That's nice. I like it. It's pretty professional.
Thanks. I'm not going to keep it up too much because I just noticed a typo, but back to the game.
Oh, nice. You have a percent on how much a player likes the civilization. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, the age 2 or the age 4 ones, there's not as much to go on. There's a lot of historical stuff that's interesting to look at in age 2, but this stuff, it's like 2 out of 1 game or whatever. So
is this one of the first years or the first year for age 4?
Yeah, first year.
That's exciting.
Overlay needs a dark theme. No, it's aesthetic.
There goes the traders. He's trying to get that gold up.
Yeah, how many traders are we at now? Switch POV. 12. And they're bringing back like 320, did I see?
Looks like that wall was to secure land trade.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of functionally what it's done. It's also just kind of denied this army from Teal moving into the sacred site. However, we see some transport ships on the other side now, and it's kind of looking like he might actually use them.
Yeah, I would love to see a drop here. Contra's whole army's at the front. Would be great to charge that Aachen Chapel. Ooh, he's loading it up.
Okay, 15 in.
That's 15 knights, right?
I'd like more longbows, but you take what you can get. Berkshire Palace also coming up for blue. For Teal. Where is that? Over here? Okay. Very good choice on that landmark.
I'd really like to see him delay this boat drop until after he gets his Imperial upgrades. But we'll see if he does or not.
He's been very patient up to this point. Like a few more minutes.
Yep, it's good to try to attack right as your upgrades are finishing. In general, if you're aging up, you don't typically want to attack because you have so much more potential that's just seconds away when your age finishes.
Oh wait, we have some league information. Controversy's been inting on Kale. Hate to see it. Windguard is normally better than Berkshire in almost every situation. Okay, all right. We got some.
They made that change, right? They made that change where you can now buy more than just the standard little army that you used to have.
Yeah, the Windguard army. That is the one you want. You're right. I got them mixed around. I don't like this after all. The Windguard army with the Treb, and even with the change, you still see players just going with the default one every time because it's such good value, even if you don't want all those units.
Right. But if you want I think you can get like hand cannons or something now. I don't actually remember what they all are. But...
Yeah, you get like hand cannon company. I think there might be a knight one or something. Okay, Contra has just stepped up the production big time right now.
Oh yeah, here comes the units.
He's down to nothing on food, and I wonder why. Any guesses in the chat? What happened to all these resources? I'm pointing right at it.
No.
Here's the Great Palace of Flensburg. The HRE Wonder. Kind of a flex to build this in a 1v1 tournament. But there it is, and with no defenses pre-built surrounding it either. He's confident. And here comes the drop.
Oh no! No!
And there goes the drop. Oh no!
Oh, that hurts.
That's the whole Teal army, and they just got destroyed before they could even land. I'm wondering if he could figure out the buttons to even ungarrison them there. That was
this
so
game,
rough.
it's incredibly difficult sometimes to ungarrison because you have to click on the specific place you want them to drop, and if you click too far away, your boats won't be able to get to it. And if you drop too close, then it's in the water and they can't drop either. So it's very finicky to get your drops to work, especially when you have multiple boats.
Absolutely, and with all of these like culverins and bombards just focusing down the boats too, you're gonna have to drop like up here or something if you really want to be safe. Another bombard out.
I would have loved to see the drop further back in Contra's base, because right now he's standing on the sacred side, I think. So Sudsy should have vision of all this stuff. So it would have been good to see maybe some knights dropped in the main base to harass the villagers, also with the longbows.
Yeah, some counter pressure would be really strong right about now. I think he may have been focused on the sacred site. I don't know if he knows like how those work or something or what, but not sure.
Sure, yep.
Or he just decided I need to kill this army before it kills me. Contra just standing still right now.
Yeah, one thing that could be really good is if you build your Wonder next to the Elsbach Palace, it actually becomes harder to kill because of the Elsbach passive. So I think it would have probably actually made more sense, surprisingly, to build the Wonder right next to the Elsbach.
There it is. Buildings take 33% less damage. Wow, that's actually a lot.
Yep.
And you could probably emergency repairs the Wonder too if you have it in the range. So Elsbach plus Town Center up here would be extremely good for a Wonder play. But as it stands, we're just going to have to wait 13 minutes. Keep spamming that World Cup copy pasta. I see it, and I approve.
We'll see here if Sudsy's pretty far behind here. He is age 4. He's getting some upgrades in. I think he just got an upgrade from his university. So it looks like he's getting those Imperial Age upgrades.
Where's that university? Yeah, we've got the first, whatever that is there. We've got 1,000,000 towers. Now, Contra has achieved his goals. He's just going to put the rest of his resources into, well, units, man-at-arms. Except that now he's pop-capped, so naturally, towers is the next step.
He's completely maxed. I think you really have to push at this point. You have a Wonder. You've got a lot of resources, enough to resupply most of your army if you lose it.
Either you push or you AFK for another 12 minutes. It's up to the player, I guess. He's on. Okay, we're on scattered formation.
Oh, is the wall being sieged? Very nice.
It's gonna go down in that spot, and we do have some hand cannons, which are definitely a solid play against the man-at-arms.
Yeah, they're a really good play. I would like to see a tower as well because of the English bonus where your hand cannons actually gain more attack speed when they're under a tower. It's really good against armored units especially because they do such high damage.
Looks like Sudsy has only mined... Okay, he's going to the stone now. I think he may have only mined stone with that villager that was killed by the boar. So, yeah, a tower or a castle even here for the network of citadels bonus. It even affects the trebs. They get an insane fire rate.
Yeah, Cap in chat here has mentioned that it's like Contra's killing off his villagers somehow. He's just deleting them, I guess, to get more population.
Caster's current win rate probability for both sides based on current stats. 99.99%.
Yeah. Contra, unfortunately, with the Wonder and the pressure, has a higher, bigger military, stronger economy.
He's got to be careful if he really wants the Wonder victory here, not to over push and cause Sudsy to resign, actually. These two age-up keeps, gonna push back the orange player for now. Actually, kind of a good defensive position.
Yeah, it's a great defensive position. I wonder if Sudsy also bought the farm upgrade that gives you the gold trickle. It's so important on English.
This is key. No, he has not
Fortunately
gotten that yet. And it looks like these mills a bit haphazardly placed as well. You got to get them around in exactly the right spot. I think you can get 10 if you're good, if you're careful with them in that aura.
Cap, this is game 1, so there's definitely at least one more.
Yep. We'll see if we get another Wonder victory game after this. For the sake of our schedule, I hope not.
Oh, is there I see a boat going over to the eastern sacred... Oh, no.
He's going triple. L plus ratio plus Wonder plus sacred site. Oh, there it is. Good eyes, Cap. Good eyes.
Looks like this game is looking pretty dire here for Sudsy. He's got 3 win conditions on his door here.
By the way, this was 7 to 10 on the seeds, so very widespread of skill levels here in this tournament.
He is making fishing boats though, so at least he's
Doing
got some
fishing
food eco.
boats, unpressured on the water. If this guy had fully committed to fishing, well, I say that he does have 3,000 food in the bank and not really much plan to use it on anything. So just plugging this up, waiting for that countdown. I think he may have waited until exactly the right moment to capture that sacred site. I may be giving him too much credit here, but
I think we might be seeing 3 win conditions all happen here almost simultaneously. Maybe his goal is to win the landmark victory right as the sacred site and the wonder finish.
I'd be interested to see if he can push these 4 landmarks in the next 8.5 minutes. That would be a neat challenge.
Yeah, I think he's got the siege to take those down. He doesn't. Man-at-arms aren't great against the keeps, especially if the keeps have boiling oil. I don't know if they do or not. That would be an important upgrade that Sudsy would pick up.
Boiling oil for orange,
Nope.
not for teal. Looks like he's doing the sprinkled on one of them.
Yeah, the boiling oil is definitely a necessity. I think if you have a lot of keeps in more than one, just because it does AOE damage, and if you have a mob of infantry that run up on your keep, it takes all of them out at once. It's a really good
Within
upgrade.
like a full like tile and a half too. Yeah, if you're coming from age 2, boiling oil is like murder holes, but 1,000 times better. Okay, we do have the flaming arrows upgrade, which is very strong for these English longbows. And they are elite longbows too, but the front line is just gonna fall apart here. Damage is being done to the orange player, but the difference is just, it's noticeable right now.
Yeah, we've got about a 40 population army here against
Note
100
that fight
population
was
army.
outside of the aura as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really important for English to always fight under the aura. It's really good to bring a villager with your army.
Hiding with,
Here he
with
goes.
the archers though. not
Siege.
bad. Here's the siege. He might be going for the triple victory.
Let's be a little bit BM here to go with this triple victory. But
I mean, yeah, insofar as it's taken 42 minutes. Interesting that Sacred Site Countdown doesn't have a progress bar. I wonder if Victory does. Let's see the percentage of it.
at least he's focusing his archers on the siege. Realizes the threat.
End of one build. Oh, he goes down, targeted. And that's
I
the
do like
last
that
of the archers.
That Contra has culverins. Those are really good against mangonels, and that's probably one of the biggest threats right now to this army.
Yeah, any kind of large, unmounted unit mass, culverins are a good play. Okay, we have one more landmark, and he's definitely just gonna turn around until we hit like the 45-second mark.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait 6 minutes here.
Let's see if we get a
Let's see him
surrender.
destroy this.
Yeah. Some short bows. Okay, doing at least 1 damage in this game. Every hit is guaranteed to do 1 damage regardless of armor.
Oh, the monks are frontlining. It's a classic problem. The prelates, rather.
Ooh, those cannons feel good though. And there's the surrender. Doesn't get the full triple stack.
Oh well. I'm kind of glad, to be honest. I did not want to wait 6 minutes to to see the other win conditions finish.